Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us here, Stash and Cambrian. Okay, so my name is Umur, and I'm a product manager at Hydrogen. And today I'll be talking about our latest product, Molecule. But before I dive into my presentation, I would like to start with two questions. Has anyone heard about hydrogen before? Cool, we have a couple of hands, nice. And what about decentralized finance or DeFi? Okay, we have nice. We have a couple of hands over here. So first I will start talking a little bit about the company, Hydrogen. So Hydrogen was founded by these two gentlemen. They're twins, Mike and Matt. And in 2008, they launched one of the first consumer-faced robo-advisor apps called Hedgeable. And then later on, it turned out to be they created Hydrogen because they saw an opening in the market for the tech for creating financial application, the lacking of the technology. So it created Hydrogen. So Hydrogen is innovation-focused, open architecture collection of APIs using which you can build super cool financial applications. So here are some of the products we have at Hydrogen. The first one is Atom, is our core infrastructure product. Say if you want to build the next, I don't know, Robinhood or Mint, and say you don't want to spend years of development in infrastructure, or you spend, I don't know, millions of dollars on it, you can just use Atom to build your next financial app. Where you can build anything to do with investing, savings, insurance, PFM, and all sorts of apps using Atom. Molecule is, which I'll be talking in depth in a minute, is our product to add blockchain components to our financial applications. And other than these two main products, we have some two other components. The first one being the integration services. So if you want to integrate your financial app with any third-party providers, such as, I don't know, Onfido, Trulio for KYC or AML with Plaid, you can use our integration services library. And we have an open source UI library called Elements. Well, most of the big clients of ours, they decide to do their own interfaces, obviously. But if you're a startup and if you want to get your idea out quickly, you can combine Atom or Molecule with Element UI library, and you'll be good to go in a very short amount of time. Some of our, the client and partner lists are obviously a little longer, but here are some select clients and partners. Our partners, some of them are Oracle, Deloitte, IBM. They help us build cool products for our clients using our products. And some clients we worked with in the past is TD Bank, Principal, and CI Investments. So thanks to all of them. So before I jump into what Molecule is, I would like to start with why we are building Molecule, which I think will make much more sense. And it brings us to the reason I asked if you know about decentralized finance. Well, decentralized finance is the notion of redefining the traditional assets, traditional finance instruments and money as we know it, using a decentralized technology infrastructure, such as distributed ledger technologies, aka blockchains, right? So when I say this, when I talk about decentralized finance, most of the people think that fintech and DeFi are like enemies, and they work towards different goals. And but I disagree with that idea. I think fintech and DeFi work towards solving the same exact problem, which is finance is not equally accessible to people. But they choose two different routes to do that. So fintech's applications work on the traditional assets, traditional money as we know it, and the instruments, and build out these super cool apps to help people get into the financial world. So I'm super honored to be here working. I think Stash is one of the best examples of this use case. Imagine back in the day, you were not able to kind of invest into a stock without with a fraction of a stock, but now you can start investing using at like only $5. So that's super cool. So fintech is trying to solve this problem from this route. And DeFi, on the other hand, is trying to solve the same exact problem with a different approach, which is DeFi companies are trying to build out these new finance tools and money using decentralized protocols. So at Hydrogen, we are route agnostic. We just want to participate and help solving this problem. And if you want to build a fintech product, perfect. Please use Atom so that we don't have to wait a long time for you to make it, so we can use your amazing app immediately and have access to finance. Or if you choose the other route to solve this problem, that's fine again. You can use Molecule and add blockchain components to your application and allow your customers to kind of enter this world fairly easily. So the story is, in 2018, Hydrogen incubated an open source blockchain project called Hydro. And the Hydro's goal was to solve the unbanked problem. And during this time, Hydrogen and Hydro team developed a bunch of smart contracts and tools running on the Ethereum blockchain. And then we thought, we have this whole domain knowledge on blockchains, and we know about fintech. So why don't we combine these two worlds together and create this product called Molecule to help our clients and their end users to enter the world of decentralized finance. And hence, Molecule was born. So here are listed our first 8 verticals that we are solving using Molecule. Well, the list is endless, but we are trying to define this list according to what we receive from our clients and customers. So at first we started doing the tokenization aspect of it, because this one South Korean company reached out to us, and they have like some real estates, and they were complaining about how illiquid they are, and they want to liquidate them by allowing people to invest in their real estates. But and we were like, what, security tokens would be a great option for you. That's why we first started building the tokenization. But I will talk about it in a minute, but we first had to solve identity and key management, which I will come to in later. So we have invoicing, payment solutions, we have document solutions, supply chain, and ownership, which I'll try to go over quickly in the following minutes. So as mentioned, the first thing we noticed is that when it comes to key management on the decentralized applications, it's really hard, because it's really hard for people, for common people like me, and us, to kind of wrap our heads around the key pairings, how to use wallets, all those hashes and everything. So the first thing we did was we created a service to integrate your application with a key management server. So this way your end users can control their keys and do all sorts of transactions by just signing up with their emails. So that's quite cool, I think. The second part of the problem was identity, which is how would you kind of attest your real world identity on chain? Because these security tokens have some rules. You cannot trade them as you want, and you need to prove that you are, over 21 years of age, you are an accredited investor, and you live in some location. So that's why we also created these integration services with some KYC and AML providers, as well as some blockchain identity providers. So using Molecule, you can allow your clients to integrate with these services and their end users to manage these keys. One thing to note is that the user interface you see here is our white label, which we are trying to bundle with Molecule, because we think that since the blockchain industry is very immature, the best user experience cases are not very common. So we're trying to add this white labeling to add our know-how to the user experience as well. Then the tokenization part we did. So tokenization is tokenizing one of your real-world assets, such as real estate, art, or anything, to convert them into tokens and then allow people to kind of buy fractions of those tokens. So using Molecule, your clients, or your end users can tokenize an asset in under maybe 60 seconds. So that's cool. Also, after tokenizing, you can also buy and sell into those tokens using the same platform. Right now, we do not offer secondary markets, meaning that you cannot trade these tokens in other exchanges for yet in this version 1, but that's in our roadmap for version 2. We have payments options and invoicing. We allow you or your client to pay their invoices not by only electronic transfers, wires, or credit card, but also using cryptocurrencies. So that's super nice. We also offer e-commerce vendors to kind of add cryptocurrency payments to their sites. We haven't had the UI for the documents and the other two just yet, but let me briefly talk about them. The documents aspect is, say you hold sensitive information in your traditional database, and you want to make sure that they are not tampered with. So you can technically use the blockchain technology on top of them to kind of prove that they are not altered with in the past. Then if you are a supply chain or logistics provider or a manufacturer, you can track your goods from production to distribution. And with ownership, you can kind of prove your ownership over a land and any other assets. So currently, Molecule is working on the Ethereum blockchain only, but our plan is to make it blockchain agnostic as well, probably starting with, I'm not sure about Quorum, but then with Hyperledger and everything. So we'll see about that. Thank you very much for listening to me talk about DeFi. Thank you very much for listening, everyone. Have a great night.